to a brand new episode of New Start Monday Knits. I'm Louise, and I have got a winning yarn for this week's cast on, and you know what? I don't even know which one it is yet. I'm a couple minutes late starting this live because there were so many votes on these two skeins of sock yarn that I just quickly ticked them all off, and I haven't even counted them. So we'll do that in just a couple minutes. So I have got the grand reveal, even to myself, of which yarn is going to be used for this week's cast on. It's sock yarn. I'll show you both of them. Do I have them up right side up? Regia, Candy Color, and Cascade Heritage Prints. So we'll talk about those in a minute. I have got this guy finished. I have a couple more finishes and some progress on another project. So I hope everybody has had a great week. Hi to everybody who is coming in here and joining me live. I hope you guys all have your knitting, getting comfortable for the night. And we'll just sit and we'll chat for about the next 45 minutes to an hour or so. So it is November 1st, which means last night was Halloween. Did everybody have a good Halloween? Did you have lots of kids out trick-or-treating? Did you just get some candy for yourself, stay in and watch scary movies or something not so scary and knit probably? We had a good Halloween. We actually went to a haunted house that my cousin does, and it was fabulous. We had a great night out. It was lots and lots of fun. And then I came home and I knit. But now it is November 1st. Halloween is behind us, and I'm feeling kind of Christmassy. I did a little shopping. So this is a combination of stash yarn that I'm not sure where this heritage print came from, and there's no colorway on this. There's just a color number, so I can't even call it. It looks kind of candy cane-ish, doesn't it? This either came from Little Red Mitten or maybe Knit Stitch. I can't remember which one. It's been in my stash at least a year, maybe two, so maybe this is the year that it gets knit. This one, I did a little trip to Little Red Mitten on Saturday just because I was on vacation and I didn't go anywhere. I just had a staycation at home. I just wasn't going to work. And what better way to celebrate a vacation than going to your local yarn shop? And Carrie and Jolynn were both there. So I asked them if they had any sock yarn or any Christmas sock yarn in, and they said they are waiting on a shipment, but they did have this skein and a couple of others. They had some of the, what is it? The Yorkshire Spinners. They had a couple skeins there that Cheryl had bought. She had bought the blue sparkly Silent Night. But anyways, I saw this one because when it comes to Christmas sock yarn, I really kind of want something traditional. You know, red, white, and green. Something that when you look at it, it definitely has a Christmassy kind of feel to it. So this is the one I went with. So Regia, Candy Color, and this Heritage, oh my goodness, I keep holding this one upside down. This one. So they're both a 75-25. And I like them equally. I really like this one because it's red and green, but just a little bit different. So it looks Christmassy, but not quite as Christmassy as this. And they both look interesting. So it's kind of like a, can you kind of see that? A jacquard kind of look maybe. And this one here, something similar. So I think they'll be really fun. Both of them should knit up really fun. Okay, did you guys vote? A lot of people voted. I'm excited. I'm not sure if it was just because it was two skeins of sock yarn, if it was Christmas sock yarn, if everybody is like me and kind of feeling that now. I mean, I know Remembrance Day is still yet to come, but it does kind of feel like it has a Christmassy feel to it, doesn't it? So I went through Instagram stories, Instagram feed posts, Facebook posts, and there was a lot of votes. So I don't even know who the winner is because it took me so long to add up all the tick marks under each column. So let me kind of do a quick ad. So on Instagram stories, if you guys looked there, I'm sure that when you go to the stories, you can see, can you see? Or maybe once you vote, then you can see what the percentage is. But the heritage prints was leading there in the stories pretty much all day. The candy colors, it started to pick up and gain some ground in the stories, but there was a lot of votes for this in the feed, which always surprises me why it's not always a clear-cut winner. It seems whichever platform you're voting on, sometimes a different ball of yarn is in the lead. So let me do a quick count. Okay. I should be careful here that I double check this right. Okay, okay. Okay. All right. Well, in the end, now I know which one the winner is. Okay. The winner is Heritage Prince held out. I feel like it's a horse race or something. And it was like, this one won by a nose. Daisy, hello kitty. Anyways, this is the one. So this one, this is, I get, maybe this is kind of fair play here. This one has been in my stash for a while, so now it's going to get out, it's going to be knit, and this one can take its place in the stash shelf, and it can sit there for a while. Anyways, oh shoot, I didn't even bring my needles over to cast on. I started looking for needles this morning before I went to work. I found a pair of DPNs. I'm not sure where my little 9-inch circulars are exactly, other than I'm sure they are stuck in a project somewhere. So I have to track those down. But I think I'll get my DPNs and I will cast this on. So I'm just going to do a cuff down sock. I'll do a long tail cast on. I'll do my 64 stitches, kind of a couple of inches of ribbing. And you know what I'm going to do for my heel on Daisy? What I'm going to do for my heel on this one, I'm going to do that magic heel. Has anybody knit a pair of socks with that magic heel? So it's just ribbing. I have seen, I know Dawn from the Codependent Knitters did that heel, and somebody, I was on Instagram today, I think they left a picture in the Fiber Friends of a finished pair of socks, and they had done the magic heel. So I had said to her, I'm like, you'll have to let me know how it wears, how you like it, and then somebody else left a comment, and they had said that they had done it and really enjoyed it or liked wearing it. Or they did it for their kids. They liked it for their kids because then it was like a tube sock, right? And the kids could grow, the sock could grow with the kid kind of thing, right? I don't know. And then I thought, okay, why don't I just try this, Louise? You're going to cast on a pair of socks tonight, so why don't you just give it a go? The only way I'll know, I guess, is if I try it for myself, right? So I think I will. So if anybody, I haven't really been paying too much attention to the comments. I'll scroll back here. And, oh, Barb, you picked the winner for the first time ever. Well, that's exciting. Sherry, you picked the winner. Jocelyn, you picked the winner too. How fun is that? Donna, did you pick the winner? Everybody seemed to pick the winner. Well, this is it. So I'm going to cast it on. So has anybody done that magic heel, that ribbing? It's, oh, Susanna, you picked it too? Okay. Daisy really wants to be part of this video tonight, you guys. I'm going to give it a whirl. And I really, really want to have these socks done by the end of the month so I can wear them. Maybe the first weekend of December, these can be my socks. Sabrina, you picked, oh no, you picked the, you know, okay, you know what? If I had voted, I was going to pick the losing yarn too, because I don't know, maybe it's because I just bought it and I wanted to cast it on. But maybe that's it. Maybe I just jinxed this poor sock yarn, because me buying yarn and casting on, like within days, that does not go together. I destined this yarn to sit in my stash. But I'm hoping that maybe I will cast this one on in December. I'd like to have, oh, I'm like treading in dangerous territory making predictions. I would like to have 2 new pairs of Christmas socks done for Christmas. Can that happen? And maybe I'll put this, long hair, maybe I will put this one back in the rotation again. I don't know. I just want to knit all the Christmas socks, which as we know, I have a problem with that. I want to do socks. I cast them on and have trouble finishing. Maybe the magic heel. Maybe it will be magic. Maybe it will make me knit faster. I don't know. Do 10 rows a day. Oh, 10 rows a day. That, you know what? That sounds like a good plan. And sometimes I need something like that, something very black and white, a plan that I can just check it off. Sometimes that works really well for me, sometimes not. Anyways, did you guys, since we're talking about magic, remember last Monday we named this magic cat? I think it was Monday on the live. Somebody had said they had a black cat named Magic, and I thought that sounds perfect. So I finished her. Oh, I don't know if I should try picking her up. Should I try picking her up? She is all done and she's heavy. And I don't think she's going to fit in the screen, will she? She's big. She is almost 20 inches tall, you guys. And she has a tail because, remember, I had almost like forgotten about putting a tail on her. So here she is. So this is Beans the cat. I should wear. I mean, she's filled with pillow forms. And anyways, let me tell you about her. So Beans the cat. Some of you may have made her when we did our original Fiber Friends toy knit along back in, Daisy looks jealous. I know, Daisy's taking her spot back here. So the original beans, I have my original beans right here. So when you follow the pattern and use worsted weight yarn, this is what you get. You get a beans with really wonky whiskers. But it's, oh, that's actually better. But look at how cute she is. So this is the size it should be, which is what? I don't know, a couple of inches tall. Worsted weight yarn. That's what you get. So I did beans exactly as the pattern called for as far as stitch size or stitch count. But I had to do her flat. I know, this is one big cat. Okay, I'm going to move her back. Is she in the... She did have, oh, here, this is what she's had on her. For the last couple of days, she has had this witch's hat on her because she's been my Halloween decoration sitting here. There she is. Okay, so let me tell you about how I knit her. I had to do her flat because the yarn that I used was the Bernat Blanket Big. Oh, hi, Sam. And this is the yarn. This yarn was actually interesting to knit with. It is so big. It is crazy, but it's nice. It is very nice and soft. I think a couple people had left me messages saying they had made blankets with it. One person did actually make cat blankets with it, and I think Daisy would love this because as Magic was being knit in pieces, Daisy would lay on her every chance she got. So it is soft. If you haven't used this, I mean, I don't know what else you would use it for other than blankets, because it does end up being heavy, but a nice heavy blanket, I guess, is a good thing. 25 millimeter or a US 50 is the needle size. Look at how big. These truly are like broomsticks, aren't they? And it was hard on my wrists, I will say that. It took 4 balls. Well, this is the end of the 4th ball. I knit her in pieces because these needles are they're only this long. 20 stitches just fit on here. The original Beans the Cat is knit in the round, and you have 40 stitches in the round. So I just went through the pattern and I just like halved it so I could knit it flat. You were supposed to, it's a free pattern, so I can talk a little bit about it. I'm not going to give anything away. So I normally you would cast on 10 stitches and then do a couple of increase rounds and then knit straight up for the body. So instead of casting on 10 and joining in the round, I cast on 5 and did it flat. Then instead of increasing to 20 stitches, I increased to 10. And then, anyway, instead of having 40 all the way around, I just increased to 20 and did it flat. So like I said, 20 of those big stitches, just literally from tip to end, fit on here. So I was constantly having to make sure stitches didn't fall off both ends, and I was always pushing because some of the loops did fall off the end here and they would pop off here. So trying to hold and trying to knit, and it was like shoving the needle into the stitch and pushing the stitch down, wrapping it and like scooping it out and trying to do the increases, doing a knit front and back. I mean, you could do it, but I really had to put needle in, wrap it, and then like swing it around. And so it was awkward. I mean, it knit fast because the stitches are so big. And one ball only did, so the front and the back, 2 pieces, 2 balls. The bottom half was 1 ball, the head was another ball. The back side, again, the bottom was 1 piece, or 1 ball, and the head was another ball. So 4 balls. And it at least you know what it was. And so and because I could really feel it in my wrists, so I would just do 2, 3, maybe 4 rows, and then I would put it down and I would go do something else, and then I would come back a little while later, do another 2 or 3 rows and put it down. But it did knit pretty quick. And then I just kind of whip stitched it together up both sides. I just kind of lined it all up and just kind of whip stitched it together. I didn't do mattress stitch, and it turned out fine. And I actually had left the stitches across the top live, and I thought I was going to Kitchener stitch them at one point. And then I thought, oh my gosh, that sounds like way too much work with this thick yarn. So I just took the end and I just went through the live stitches on top, front and back, and I just wove it through and snugged it up. And even up the sides, when I was doing the whip stitch, I just did it with my hands. The stitches were big enough that I could just take it with my finger, put it through a loop and through a loop on the back side, pull it through, and just kind of zigzagged it with my hands. And I mean, that didn't take too long either. And then I did a 3-stitch I-cord with with these needles. And I did it while Cheryl and I were recording the Fiber Friends podcast. So if you saw that, you saw what I did, because that was the first thing Cheryl asked me. She's like, well, how are you going to do I-cord on here? You need a double pointed needle. And I'm like, well, true, but I just pulled my needle out. So I had 3 stitches on here. I knit them, and then normally you slide it back. I just pulled the needle out, turned my work around, and slid the needle back in. So I had my working tail on the wrong side, and I could pull it back. Knit the 3 stitches, turned it around, put my needle in, and it worked. It's kind of a cheater way of doing I-cord, and it works in a pinch. I've had to do it more than once before when I've decided to do I-cord for something and didn't have DPNs or a circular needle with me. Not very often do I knit with straight needles, but every once in a while I do, and then I end up needing to do I-cord for some crazy reason. So then I just stuffed her with pillow forms. There's 4 pillows inside of her. And it was a great way to use up those because they were just kind of lying around. So now they have a use. I did put a garbage bag inside of her because even though my stitches were really tight on here, there is some open space in these stitches. It's not as tight as if you were doing another toy, right? So I put a black garbage bag in her and then put the pillows in. And so it just, black on black, black lining just fills in those spaces, and it worked out great. Put a tail on her, and yeah, she's done. Then just found some pipe cleaners. My orange ones for her eyes for Halloween. She's going to stick around. I think I'm going to turn her into a Christmas kitty as well. I may give her some sparkly green. I've got sparkly green pipe cleaners, so I may change her eyes out. Give her a different hat. I have a knit Santa hat, so she will become a Christmas kitty. Mostly because I have no idea where I'm going to store her other than right here. So she's going to be our mascot for a little while anyways. But she was fun. I had no idea how big she was going to be. I'm really actually surprised she turned out that big, and I'm surprised she took that much yarn. But it was really, really fun. I like making things big. I'm happy I did it. I may do something else like this again. Okay, enough about Beans the cat. Last week's project is behind me. This was the one where okay, where's my yarn? I knew I was going to use the green, and the option was the brown or that orangey tangerine color, and you guys all voted for the brown. So green and brown. It's a bulky weight. It's 100% wool. This is yarn I have had in my stash for a really, really, really long time, and it is really nice to knit with. I always do this. I keep all this yarn forever and ever, and then when I start knitting with it, I really quite enjoy it and wish I had knit it years ago. I think I would learn by now, right? Anyways, I cast it on. So this project was going to be another one of my hot mats that I wanted to do, because I want to do a few of these for Christmas. I'm not sure this one's going to be a Christmas present. I think that I may just keep this one and do it myself, or use it myself. But it is all finished, except I have to Kitchener stitch. So this is what I did. I absolutely love doing zigzaggy patterns. Love them. Cannot tell you how happy doing these patterns make me. But I really am really happy with it. I think if I was to do it again, I would cast on an extra 4 stitches to make it a little bit wider, because I think it doesn't look quite square to me. It looks a little taller than wider, but you know what? That's all right. It's a hot mat, right? I mean, you can't really go too wrong with that. Whatever size it ends up being, it's going to be fine. It's going to work well in the kitchen. I love the colors. Thank you guys so much for picking brown, because I love it. So what I'm going to do is I am going to Kitchener stitch this closed. This is on a 16-inch needle. Oh, should we look at the inside too? 16-inch needle. Don't even know what size needle this is. I'm guessing it's maybe a 6mm. That's what I wanted to use. This is what I found. And for the life of me, I could not find a needle sizer when I was getting ready to cast this on. But you know what? It worked well because the gauge to me looks good. It doesn't look, I mean, it looks perfect to me, if I do say so myself. It's, yeah, I wouldn't want it any tighter for sure. But it is nice and thick because it's double. So it's going to be nice. So I think if it could work well for pulling something out of the oven or just setting on the table and putting a bowl or something, I don't know, a casserole dish, whatever I've got, or putting a cookie sheet. Oh, Christmas cookies. Oh, this needs to be Christmas colors. Last week, oh, what is this? Barb's giving me a tip here. So last week I was all about fall because it was just before Halloween, and so that's why I picked brown, green, and orange. They were fallish colors. Well, now I'm thinking, you know, I could use this for a couple of weeks before I need Christmas, but now I'm all thinking Christmas, and I think I need to do this again in red and white. We'll see. Anyways, what did Barb, I'm going to go back here and look at this comment because living on the edge, that's, okay, you can lay your needle on a ruler or measuring tape. The millimeter across is what it is. Okay, you're okay. I do. I was gonna say, if I had a tape measure handy, those seem to disappear as quick as anything else around here too. Okay, let me see if I can figure this out, Barb. Oh my gosh. Okay. Anyways, I have since found a needle sizer in my basket where I had a bunch of DPNs that I was going to look for my sock needles. There was one in there. I mean, I probably have, you know, I don't know, 5 or more lying around here somewhere. Hi, Alice. That, I don't know, they just get stuck in project bags or notions bags or here or there. They're upstairs or downstairs or in the bedroom. I don't know. They just always seem to be exactly where I am not. Seems to be, ooh. Okay, I'm doing that. I'm trying to read. Do you know how teeny tiny millimeters are, you guys? Trying to read those little ticks down on the bottom there. So this is roughly, yeah. So it maybe is a 5. It looks like it might be a 5. Actually, you guys okay if I go off camera for a second? Because I can grab one. Now I need to check this. Oh, yes, Alice, the winning color, the Heritage Prince. Okay, I know where my needle gauge is. Oops. Sorry. Anyways, my basket of goodies sitting over here. See, I've got needles, 2.25, ready for my sock. And when I was looking through here, voila. I knew there had to be some around. So let's see if this is 5 or if this is 6. It's 5.5, Barb. So that worked really perfect. I have never done that, and I don't know why. But awesome tip, Barb. Thanks. Next time, if I can't find it, at least it was pretty close. Pretty close. So a 5.5 millimeter worked great. What did I do? I did a provisional cast on with the crochet hook. I think we did that last week when we were chatting live. So I will actually Kitchener stitch the bottom closed, and I will Kitchener stitch the top closed, so they will all look perfectly neat and lovely. And I'm going to use this for a couple weeks before I get full into Christmas mode, enjoy kind of the fall colors. This was really fun. This took me 2 evenings to knit, super quick, and be perfect for last minute gift knitting. So yes, I'm going to make up a few more of these, and I'm going to actually type this pattern up. My plan is for this week, so then it'll be available if anybody else wants to whip up some quick little things either for themselves or for gifts. So fun. Love doing color work. Love it. What else did I do? Oh, I have got 2 finishes. 2 finishes. Those do not happen. Well, okay, I'm calling this a finish, even though my ends are not woven. I'm gonna have to sit and watch a Christmas movie. I started watching Christmas movies, you guys. I normally do not start until today. Normally November 1st. It's like a big production. I get a special drink, I get my knitting, I get all comfy and watch the Hallmark Channel, right? And watch, you guys know this is my favorite time of year, Hallmark Christmas shows. Yes. I watched 2 of them Saturday night. I know, before Halloween. I can't even believe. I feel like such a rebel. But you know what? I thought, why am I imposing such strict rules? I can't help it that they started airing the new Christmas movies before I want to watch them. And one of my favorite actors was in one of the movies Saturday night. So so I just watched. I watched. It's like, you know, if that is the craziest thing I do, watch a Christmas movie before Halloween. Oh, Barb says she's got all kinds of quirky knitting knowledge. That's great. Oh, so okay, so Barb, you also start watching Christmas movies October 1st to put you in the mood. Okay, see, I don't know. Yeah, that's really early. I thought I was being crazy before Halloween. My special drink, because it's nothing. It's like, it would either be hot apple cider, it would be hot chocolate. That's what I would have. Nothing